Shalom, shalom. We like to
Shalom.
we like to give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. And this is Bishop Taz and Bishop Ayathon. And of course, the topic at hand is this guy, Glo-Rilla Hebrew. This dude, he been talking shit for years, and he been disrespectful to the men of the Lord for years. The very men that taught him, that he learned the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai from, he's been very disrespectful. And he said things about Apostle Tahar, Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar. He called Apostle Ramlab and Tahar two old niggas on the dirty couch. Right? He sided with the House of Unfucking Consciousness against GMS. He sat down and he had a sit down with this guy who looked like Daffy Duck with the beak shot off, who's sitting in prison doing a prison sentence for raping a girl down in Florida. But he's doing 6 or 7 years. This guy had no light. He sat down on the couch with no light, and no light turned his ass. Right? When low light was going into it with him about the rape issue. Then he does a video after that. After he does that sit down with Polite, then he does a video where he does totally disrespecting Apostle Tahar. Then he does another thing where he goes to his woman's Facebook page and he takes a picture of the man there with his woman on her Facebook page, and he puts it in that same video that he did on that Saw Nigga TV shit, disrespecting Apostle Tahar. And even through all that, Apostle Tahar still showed that nigga mercy. The nigga Hebrew. Well, he got the name Gorilla Hebrew from Saw Nigga. Yeah, I call him Glo-Rilla. That's Glo-Rilla Hebrew. In his little twisted dark fantasies, now he's caught up in his man. His man, which is this dude right here, Ariella. He brought that information out on him. Because the scriptures tell you that there's nothing here that shall not be brought out on the housetops, on the rooftops. There's nothing here that shall not be brought out. We didn't have nobody going out there investigating this shit. This shit came out because the Lord wanted this to come out to shame your monkey ass. For all the slander and the things that you charged us with over the years, over the last, 10 years? 10 years?
Yeah.
All the slander and the shit talking that you Sakari motherfuckers, that chief rockhead priest motherfucker, Alazar, been doing. Now, your chickens have come home to roost. Everything that these people out here have been saying, have been trying to charge us with, you motherfuckers are guilty of. We're polite. When they waged that back in 2006, when they that campaign against us, they're going to get the grips on us, which were out of Jersey. They even did a video on Sarnetta TV about it. Where's that motherfucker Polite at now? Prison for raping a 14-year-old girl, of a woman that he was dealing with. His ass is locked away in prison right now as we speak, rotting away, washing some other niggas' fucking drawers. That's where he's at right now. He's the same nigga that sat down with Glo-Rilla Hebrew and turned his ass. He's the same nigga that sat down with this guy. And that whole House of Consciousness is total fucking bullshit. They worship those different Kemetic gods. How the fuck are you gonna follow some shit where they have a god named Geb and Nut? And there's images of Geb and Nut. You know what they're doing? Slobbing their own rods. Go look it up. Geb and Nut. Oh, hold up. Let me see if I can pull that up right here. It's because we're not making this up. Let me see. Images of Geb and Nut. Geb.
I got scriptures about bearing the false witness, because that's what they did against us.
That's exactly what they did. No, go right ahead.
Okay, so I got two. I got the one in Exodus, right? It says, "Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor." So, the large majority
Call the scripture. I'll put it up on the screen.
Okay, there's Exodus 20:16. That's the law in Exodus about bearing false witness.
Yeah, go ahead. You can read it. I got it
Yeah,
right
because
here.
they called us all types of names. Called us pedos. Called us the R word, rapists.
Yep,
Um,
rapist.
and basically, out of emotions, because we brought out the scriptures, right? We're just going into scriptures, bringing out the law, and because they didn't like what they were hearing, or it's not what their mama taught them, or what they heard in church, whatever it is,
Yep,
their emotions got pricked or whatever. So then, they bear fault witness, and it was it's basically a smear campaign,
that's it.
and demonize us, and basically that's what GMS became known as. You read in
Yep,
comments, different videos. Oh, that's the ones that like little girls and
right.
all this shit. And he was one of them. He's one of them that reinforced that, and that's false witness, right? There's not one shred of proof, one shred of evidence. It's just motherfuckers talking shit because they were angry at us bringing out the scriptures.
Yep,
And yeah, and nobody quit. Nobody quit. Nobody said I'm stepping down or stepping back. We just kept pushing. We just kept
yep.
pushing,
Kept
kept doing the
pushing. That's
Lord's
right.
work, right? So now what's going on with this guy Alizé? You know, what ain't nobody bearing fault witness, because Sinetta did that video. "Oh, I'm ashamed of whatever he said. Israel's coming, not standing up for their brother and this and
Yeah,
that."
this one right here.
Um,
This
yeah,
nigga
but he's acting like,
came out the woodworks and he
and
did this
and
video
he's
right
one of
here.
them. He's one of the guys that was calling us pedos and
Yep, he's another
rapists
one.
and shit like that. He's one of them, right? And and whatchamacallit. And now, and he was one of the main dudes always talking about all the, like anti-homo or whatever. But
Right,
now he's talking about, you coming against Alizé, and you should have what a man does in his own bedroom is his own business or whatever. All right. Well, look, nobody at GMS fucking had a spy cam. Nobody at GMS sent PIs or did some foul shit, searching his Facebook like he did to us, right? He's
right,
searching Apostle Har's Facebook, got pictures of his woman and blast them all over the internet. You had other motherfuckers, the Avengers. I was
right.
fucking calling brothers jobs and shit. We
Like
don't do none of that shit.
fucking and they were fucking with Apostle Ricard. Remember?
With
Remember the
Apostle
Apostle
Ricard,
Ricard thing with the
the
with that
jacket. Yeah.
situation with the jacket and
Yep.
all that. They were messing with Apostle Ricard. They were messing with Apostle Tahar. He was talking shit about Apostle Orion Lock. Man,
Yep.
fuck you, nigga.
Yeah.
Bottom line, fuck
And but and the thing is, this was like the Most High brought this out. We didn't do shit. This came out on the internet, and this guy he confirmed it out of his own mouth.
and your
So
man
we
and this
just
dude right here, Ariala, is the one that put the information out there, and then you went in on him. This Alizé, Potato Alizé Souffle, he goes in on him saying that this dude committed adultery with another guy and Sakari's woman. So it's all a mess going on over there
yeah.
at
So
Sakari shit.
yeah, they're airing each other out. So we not doing shit. I mean, we speaking on the matter because this dude represents Israel, so called, right? And so we're judges. We're judges, so we got to speak on the matter. But it wasn't that was the Most High that brought this out,
Yep,
but using his own man, his woman, and they're throwing shots at each other. But
yep,
somehow, right? Somehow this motherfucker, because he can't he can't take accountability and just be like, look, I fucked up and just eat the shit. Somehow he's twisting the shit. You got the video and he's somehow blaming GMS for it, like some bitch ass shit.
basically he's trying to turn things around and put the focus on GMS instead of on you. Listen, motherfucker. Bottom line, you the motherfucker that took the banana in the tailpipe. You the one that got that asphyxiation, your twisted dark fantasy, like on some Kanye West shit. My twisted dark fantasy. That's you. GMS ain't never
Yeah,
taught you to know shit like that.
yeah.
Hold
That's
up,
got
and
nothing to do with
you
no
make
fucking
mention of it, and I'm gonna play the part here in this video. But we're just dialoguing right now. But we're gonna play a little clip here and a little clip there.
yeah.
Do some,
Yep.
some
Let me read this real quick,
Go
please.
ahead.
Just
Let me
so we brought out Exodus, right? Exodus, because I just want to go into the false witness thing. So Exodus, that was 2016, right? They bear false
Yeah.
witness against us. And then Proverbs 28, 25, and 18, real quick. Because you know what he's doing? He's I guess he's protecting his image, because he's really big on his image, always trying to look fly
Yep.
and wearing gear and all that shit. He's like real big on his image. But if you read Proverbs 25:18, it says, a man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul, a sword, and a sharp arrow. That means someone that bears false witness against you, they're like a fucking arrow piercing you. Basically, that shit damages your reputation, right?
Yep.
Like it does a lot of harm. So he had no problem trying to damage Apostle Tahar's his image, right?
That's right. That's
He went
exactly
at
what.
Apostle Tahar plenty of times. And yo, and you can attest, Bishop Taz, Apostle Tahar was like showing this dude a lot of mercy, real nice to him. And I used to get kind of mad, like, damn, why is he fucking sticking up for this guy?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, me, that's how I felt. And it
Yep.
seemed like he would stick up for him and be like, he's all right. And he believes in the MOTB and like kind of sticking up for him. But that was the Lord, you know, because like throwing heaps of coal on his head. So this
Hold
dude's
on.
over here talking shit, like cash money shit against Apostle Tahar. And Apostle Tahar, like, kind of always was kind of sticking up for the dude, pretty much. Not, but talking in favor, because you hear it on his videos. Yeah, he'll talk about Sakari, did this and
Yeah.
that, even in the
Yep.
live streams and all that.
Yep.
And this dude's over here slinging shit on Apostle Tahar's name. Apostle Tahar ain't do shit to him. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we did was you going off on the scriptures. We bring out the scriptures, and that's it. And you got mad a lot of, you denounce Apostle Paul's writing, but we know why now, right? Apostle
Mm-hmm.
Paul spoke about like those devious lusts in Romans, the first chapter. He spoke
Yep.
about the long hair. He spoke about covering your head, wearing a hat while you're prophesying. You know what I'm saying? But so the Most High basically took what you're doing and kind of and flipped it on you. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't do shit. We didn't lift the finger. That was all Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and he used your mans to do it.
And the same thing happened to Polite's ass, because he charged us with that same thing. But guess what? It flipped on him because he actually did the shit.
Con.
And that's why he ain't around no more. He ain't on the House of Consciousness no more. Sarnetta ain't getting them 20 and 30,000 views like he used to get when Polite was out there and on his channel, when his channel was red hot coming against the Israelites. He ain't getting that type of traffic no more. That shit got shut down. And he's coming out the woodwork to defend this guy Alazar. And again, like I said, that comedic shit ain't nothing. First of all, homosexuality stemmed from the goddamn ancient Hamites. That's where that homosexuality, that freaky nasty shit goes back to. Here you got again, I was talking about Geb and Nut. And this is some old freaky ass Egyptian shit. Some old freaky, nasty, sick ass shit that the Egyptians were into. And that's the shit that these niggas uphold. Look at this shit right here. Look at this one. Look at this shit. Gab and Nut infinitely coupling.
That's just crazy.
You see this shit?
Oh man.
This is what these motherfuckers worship. This is what this is the base of all that comedic shit. Well, let me see if I can get a bigger image of it. Here it goes right here. Gab and Nut. These freaky ass
Yeah,
shit.
well, yeah. I mean, that's what happens when the scriptures say, "Be not unequally yoked with non-believers."
That's right.
That's what happens when you be around them motherfuckers, them spirits. Them spirits hop on you, because that's what that's the spirit of the Egyptians, the spirit of Kemet. That's what
Yep.
they about. Showing you the photos there. That's what they about.
And then when you go into it with this guy, before any of you niggas out there know anything about some Egyptology bullshit, the number one Egyptologist on the planet Earth was a man named Aleister Crowley. who his mother called him the beast in Revelation. And this dude practiced sexual magic. He was a part of a secret society. What was it called? Thelema, the Society of Thelma or Thelema, I think it was called. And he was the top Egyptologist on the planet. Before any of you niggas do any goddamn thing about some damn Egyptology shit.
Excuse me.
Aleister Crowley. And he broke down that the all-seeing eye, the symbol that's known as the Kahu, Polite used to paint that on his face. That all-seeing eye, it represents something called the black sun, which the black sun represents the anus of a little boy. It's the top thing in sexual magic, which is what they practice. Sexual magic. That's what that shit is. That's what that all-seeing eye shit is that the Egyptians was worshiping. In the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church, a goddamn homo organization is what it is. Everything that they worship goes back to ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon. Which goes back into what? Child sacrifice, having sex with children, animals. The black sun, which is the anus of a little boy. That's what all that shit goes back to. That's what that comedic shit is all about. So don't come over here with that twisted dark bullshit. Because that's what all that shit originates from and what it goes back to. The so-called white man didn't originate homosexuality. The ancient Hamites originated. As a matter of fact, what is it? In Wisdom of Solomon, when it said the old inhabitant, was that Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter?
Yeah, let me see.
Let me see if I can pull it up right here in the Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's 7, right?
Habitants.
I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 7.
I'm looking.
Or it might be the 5th chapter.
Looking for it now too.
Just bear with us. Bear with us one moment, brothers. It was the old inhabitants.
Hold on. Is it? No. Old inhabitants. The odious works.
Yeah, most odious works is witchcraft.
Yeah, but the point of the whatchamacallit, the video is that he's trying to say, but he's trying to basically blame GMS, right, for for what he did. I guess is the pent up hate or some shit he said against a white man or something like that. It might be. There's one in 14. I don't know if that's it. In 14. Yeah, but basically, man, this guy Alizé, he came against he came against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Because the works that he learned from from his elders. First of all, he talks shit about his elders. The scriptures tell you to double honor to the elders. Honor your father and mother, and that's not talking about your physical parents only. It's also talking about your parents in the truth. And in the scriptures, a kid that was like what they call that, like a kid that's
excuse me. A child that's left to
himself. But a kid, if a child went against their parents, they were supposed to be stoned to death. That was like a defiant child. So he was like that, right? And he was like that because he got mixed up with the Kemet crew and the debates and all that, and he wanted to be world friendly. He wanted to be world friendly, and he wanted to get that fame and all that, and so he had to come against GMS because he couldn't hang around then and be like, oh yeah, I believe in Deuteronomy 22 in a grape, and even though that's what the scriptures say, and even polite cut him when they had that little debate.
Yep.
Even Polite cut him on the grape doctrine. But for him to get where he wanted to go, because basically that's what he wanted was fame, is he had to be friends with the world, and talk shit about GMS. That's basically what it was. Yeah, did you find what you're looking for?
I'm looking for it right
Yo,
now.
Bishop Toss.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Oh, yeah. So you had some clips you wanted to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in here right now. So so right here, he speaks about this this nasty work right over here, where he starts talking about this thing where he was speaking about a text with his woman, right? And you put this out there. We ain't know nothing about this shit. You put this out there. This is a stain on you. This ain't got nothing to do with us.
She responds to me. So I'm being called a predator. This is the response I get to wanting to have regular sex with her. Just for the record. She said, I love you either way. I just don't like you all the time. What was the solution you had mentioned earlier? Because I mentioned a solution to our problems. I said, I feel the same way. I just really want to work on us. She said, how is this realistic? I said, I think it is. She said, what's the plan? I said, I need to cater to you better emotionally. This is what she says. This is how she says I can cater to her better emotionally. Letting me dominate you will help. There's text messages that are being used to make me look like a predator when I'm literally in this thread, in this particular instance, a man attempting to fix and save my marriage. And she's telling me that's going to help cater to her emotionally. So just so you guys understand the context of where some of this stuff is coming from, she's asking me to participate in this, though I'm telling her I don't want to. I want to have a normal sex life, but I do want to cater to her emotionally. And this is what she's asking me to do in order to help her be catered to emotionally. And this is why it's very unfair for the inner workings of a marriage to be exposed to the world, because there are so many aspects of it. There's so many things and nuances that are not being dealt with or discussed or understood or need to be. There's dirty laundry that doesn't need to be aired out. Now, again, if I was doing something insane, I got you. But additionally, matter of fact, even before I get there, kind of outside of this though, because that's the domination aspect, and that's never nothing I was into at any point. There was a pagan kit that was definitely purchased.
Yo, Todd.
Yeah. So that's what he said. There was a pegging kit. He said there was a pegging kit that was purchased. Hold up. He said it was a pegging kit that was purchased, and what?
It vanished. Ask her. Anybody can ask her. Ask her where it went. It vanished.
He said it was a pegging kit that was purchased and it vanished. Wait a minute. Now what is pegging? I don't even know what that is. So I went and looked it up, right? So it says right here. It says here, dictionary, peg, right? Then it says pegging. Then when you go down here, it says pegging. Sexual practice. Pegging is an anal sex act in which a woman penetrates a man's anus with a strap-on dildo. A naked man is on all fours. That's what pegging is. So that's what pegging is. So he mentions that there was a pegging kit that was bought, but it disappeared. Like, yo, man. What the fuck?
He likes to be dominated.
Yeah. But see, he's saying that he ain't into that, but then later on in the same video, he's talking about he repented of this shit. So which one is it? This is your twisted dark fucking fantasy. This ain't got nothing to do with us. This is your shit.
Yeah, that's that's all on
That's
you. That ain't,
nasty work, man. That's
yeah,
nasty work.
that's Romans the first chapter, right?
Yep.
But he doesn't believe in he don't. I guess he never read that because he don't believe in Paul's writing. But as Romans the first chapter, and basically it's because you turn against Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
So Yahweh Shai gave you up
But he was never with
to
Yahweh
them
Shai.
lusts. Yeah.
Here it goes. Uh,
Because
Romans 1:22.
they teach that then they teach you don't have to worship Yahweh Shai. I
Yep.
believe they did, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
They
Sure
taught
did.
that Yahweh Shai is not to be worshipped.
So I'm gonna read it right here, Romans 1, and I'm gonna go to 24. We're just gonna go right to it. Wherefore, Yahweh also gave them up unto uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Well, women with women, and also men with men, and even a woman strapping on a dildo and running you in your poop chute. That's against nature. That's a vile affection. Pegging. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, the Most High gave them up over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And that's not convenient to be what? Pegging.
Yeah.
Doing this shit
And
right here. That's not
yep.
convenient.
And not retaining the Most High, even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, and you can see that he was straying away. So look, you didn't whatever you turn into, you didn't get that from GMS because you strayed away from everything that you learned um, from GMS. Everything you learned, years ago when you came up under GMS, you learned you strayed away. Like the way he speaks, like when he was talking to them, I don't know, he was talking to his congregations, yo, my nigga, and my
Yep.
nigga this and my nigga that.
Nah.
Like when we don't talk like that,
Nope.
you didn't get that from us. You talk like a street dude, and you hang around street dudes, and all your interviews, you just talk about fucking gang shit. Like the Crips and the Bloods, and you know what I'm saying. Um, you don't the last interview you did, I forgot that channel that was, but he did a lot. He didn't bring out no scriptures. It's like you didn't you're straying away. You have strayed away from the Most High. You're doing rap videos and merch, and like the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai was not on you. So you gave up that spirit, and you took on the spirit of the world. Like I said, because you
That's
was
right.
hanging out with Adam 22, you're hanging out with Sarnetta, you're hanging out, you know, um, with all these people of the world. So that
That's right.
spirit came upon you, right? You were covered. You weren't covered with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You wearing a hat on your head. The scriptures clearly tell you you're not supposed to wear a hat on your head.
That's right.
Because that's where your spirit resides. So you're disrespecting your own self and disrespecting Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai when you're prophesying. You know.
And the scriptures speak about that. The scriptures speak about it in 1 John. It says this in 1 John 2:15. Let me pull this up. 1 John 2:15. Because it says here, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. This nigga, he loves the world. Everything that he does is what? It's all to be world friendly. So you can what? So you can get more views because his channels are monetized. So you get more views, So you get more people hitting you up on the Cash App. You get more people hitting you up on the PayPal, on the Cash App, on the PayPal, right? You get more views through your monetization, because for every certain 1,000 views or something like that, you get a certain amount of money that's allotted to you through YouTube or what, and these other different sites. The way that the pay scale goes, for every certain amount of videos, I think it's over 1,000, something like that. Streams that people stream on the video, you get a certain amount of money. The way that that whole thing is set up. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and that is nasty work. That lust of the flesh, that Pegasus shit that you got going on, that he's saying he ain't doing, but then in another breath, he's crying and he's talking about that he repented and he went to therapy. What the you boy? For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, and he's a proud bastard too. He ain't nothing humble about this dude. Is not of the Father, but is of the world. To trying to be a world-friendly Israelite. Number one, the Lord said that ye are going to be hated of the world for my name's sake, not loved.
Exactly. Yeah. Because
what
was it?
love. No, go ahead, brother.
No, a couple days ago, he was talking about yes, he had to clean up the stain that GMS put, right? So basically, the stain or the bad look, I guess, the world has about the Israelites was all GMS fault, you know. But like you just quoted a scripture, you know, the Yahweh Shai said that. He said, "Know that the world hated you, that it hated me, basically
Right.
hated me first," right? So that's one of the first principles that you learn, is that Yahweh Shai came to separate, right? He's going to separate you from your household, right? So your woman's not going to get with you, your children. He's going to separate everybody, and he's also going to separate you from the world. The world is going to hate you because the world hated Yahweh Shai. If you remember, the world, mainly the world of Israel, and if you remember the world of Israel, they elected Yahweh Shai to be crucified
by the Romans.
over
That's right.
Over Barabbas. So we're going to get the same treatment, you know. But what you did is you sided with the world. Your thing was, well, I'm gonna clean up the image so that the world likes us, because GMS, you stained the way we look. You know.
So,
and like I
as a
said
matter of
earlier,
fact,
that's why you came against GMS.
that's why he came against us, and he came against you. Number one, he came against Yahweh Shai, because his whole thing is we're not supposed to worship Yahweh Shai. 1 John 4:3 on down, it says this: and every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. He has the spirit of an Antichrist. He's against Yahweh Shai. Ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore they speak they of the world, and the world heareth them.
That's why I say, yo, my nigga, you know, I'm gonna step down, but you take this up, my nigga. Yo,
Right.
I love you niggas. Like, what scripture is that? For Yahweh Shai so loved the niggas that he died. Nah, that ain't in the scriptures.
No. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of Yahweh. He that knoweth Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai heareth us. He that is not of Yahweh heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. He's in the spirit of error. Little boy, you're in the spirit of error.
Yeah, and this dude has no no integrity at all, because if he had any integrity, he would just took it, you know, and said, look, I fucked up or whatever. Instead, he's throwing shit on GMS. He's throwing shit on his boy. Like, he's trying to point the finger everywhere else instead of just fucking owning up to the shit.
Because he can't take correction.
Right, but he's just a demon. That's what a fucking pure demon would do. You know, he has no integrity at all.
What's that? What is that? Proverbs? Yeah, it's Proverbs. Proverbs 29:1. He that is being often reproved hardeneth his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And that's him. Because he's been reproved and reproved over and over and over and over again. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. That's him. Let me grab another one here. Unless you have another scripture, I'm gonna grab another one here in the book of John.
All right.
I'm gonna get John.
Something.
I'm gonna grab John 17, and I'm gonna 17. I'm gonna start at 13. And now come I unto thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them. The world is not going to love us. This is not a world-friendly doctrine. The world is going to hate the men of the Lord. All throughout the scriptures, the men of the Lord were hated by the masses of Israel because the prophets was always digging into Israel about their shit, about their folly, letting them know that, look, the Most High is going to judge you for your wickedness. And what did they do? They persecuted, they chased, they hunted, and they killed the prophets. They didn't want to. They didn't want to hear the word of the Most High because they hated him that rebuketh in the gate. And it was the same way 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, and it's the same way right now. They hated him that rebuketh in the gate. It says, I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. It says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. And that's Yahweh Shai. We are not of the world, even as he is not of the world. So they're going to hate us. Because of why? Yahweh Shai. And that nigga hates Yahweh Shai. He teaches against Yahweh Shai. And going back to the Sakari, going back to them, they were a bunch of thieves, robbers, and murderers. They were the offshoots. They were the bastard sons of the Zealots. And the Zealots were some fucking pieces of work they goddamn self. Yeah, they had some battles with the Romans, and they won a few battles. But what were the Zealots doing? When you look up in the history about the Zealots, because the Sakari are offshoots of the Zealots, and they were a bunch of fucking scumbags. This is what the Zealots was doing. They were going to war against the Romans over the taxation. Now, Yahweh Shai told us, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. That's what he told us to do. He didn't tell us to mount up an army and go fight against the Romans. He said, look, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. What did the Zealots do? The Zealots, what they would do is they would come to different areas of different towns the Israelites were in and like, listen, we got a rebellion going against the Romans because of the taxation. Are you going to join? No? Okay, so then this is what they would do to you. Because see, back then, that was ancient times. In Israel back then, what were we? We were an agricultural society, which means that we were what? Homesteaders. So Israelite men were what? Homesteaders. You had your land and you had your crops. You grew your wheat, your barley, your cucumbers, beans, rice, and different things that you grew. You had your goats. You got the milk from the goats, cows. You had your sheep. You had your oxen for plowing the fields. You had your beasts of burden, your donkeys, which were beasts of burden, right? For work. So that's how you fed your family because you lived as a homesteader. So then this is what these motherfuckers would do. They will come down and they will burn all your fields of crops, kill your animals, and then they will burn your house to the ground. and give you no choice but to join them in the rebellion against the Romans. That's another reason why during that time Israel was starving like crazy, because all of the food and the livestock, the food was burnt up, and the livestock, a lot of the livestock were dead because the zealots trying to force other Israelites into joining their rebellion against the Romans would burn down their fields, burn down their homes, and make them homeless, and no way to feed themselves. So they have no other choice but to join them in the rebellion as a punishment for them not wanting to fight alongside with them against the Romans. That's what the fucking zealots was doing. They were some real fucking pieces of work. And then the Sakari, those fucking bastards, were offshoots of the zealots. Matter of fact, the man who basically is known for the zealot movement, when you go into the Josephus, is mentioned in Acts the 5th chapter when Gamaliel was speaking about Theudas and Judas. He wasn't talking about no Judas Iscariot. He was talking about a man named Judas the Galilean. You have to go back into the history on Judas the Galilean. And he's the guy that basically that the zealots stem from. And even a little bit before him, his father, he had a father whose name was Hezekiah, who his father, before Judas the Galilean, his father Hezekiah was given the young Herod a lot of hell. He gave the young Herod all that Edomite bastard could handle. Then his son Judas rose up in his stead, and he was dubbed Judas the Galilean because his name was Judas and he was from Galilee. And he was the one that led the zealots in the rebellion against the Romans. And that's the man Gamaliel was speaking about in Acts the 5th chapter. And then through him, he had I think 2 or 3 sons, which the Sakari sprung out through his sons. They were offshoots of the zealots. And they were some real fucking pieces of work, them Sakari. So there wasn't nothing righteous about them niggas, and they did not follow Yahweh Shai. Neither did the zealots. Now you had certain guys that were a part of the zealots. They knew of Yahweh Shai, but the zealot organization, they didn't believe in Yahweh Shai. And Josephus, when you go into the history, he blamed them for the war and for the hell that came down on Israel. And that's in the history. These guys ain't nobody to fucking be praised and looked at. And then the Sakari, those fucking bastards, when the Romans really brought it to their dagger man asses, you know what they did? They ran up into Masada. And they were the ones that they committed suicide because they got starved out. But we know history repeats itself. So you know what? You're gonna be met with that. You're gonna be met with that again because history repeats itself. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got a scripture kind of circling back to him trying to blame blame GMS and basically just trying to throw shit other people's way to get the spotlight off himself, right?
Get the heat off of himself, yeah.
Get the heat off himself. So this is in James 1, and I'm gonna start at 12. Yeah, okay.
Right here. I got it right up there.
Yeah.
James 1 and 12 is right there.
So verse 12 says, blessed is the man that endure temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. James 1 and 13, women will bring you they'll bring you a lot of temptation. You got to be careful what kind of woman you fucking get with as well,
Yeah, well, they're basically a gateway for Satan.
Yeah, and some women, they've been through some experiences.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So James 1 and 13 says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. Verse 14, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. So it's like them demons inside of you, or the demons you with, you're with, or your women put demons on you, right? So it says every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceiveth, it bringeth forth sin. So the act that you commit. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. You know, so basically, there's no one to blame but yourself.
Yourself. That's right.
You know, but yourself. So, you know, you can't put the finger, but that's the reason why you got in the shit you in today, because all you've been doing, because like you said, for like 10 years, been getting on this dude, and all he's been doing is pointing a finger at other people instead of fucking just. You brought out the scripture earlier about him that how's that hardening his neck, to that effect. So you keep hardening your neck, guess what? The Most High is gonna take you out one way or another, you know, because the Most High is gonna warn you a certain amount of times, and then that's it. There's even a scripture that talks about that, right? Where it says, when he talks about Israel, when he says, why should you be stricken anymore?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in other words, the Most High will warn you. And then there's Proverbs, right? I brought this out in a video I did earlier. Proverbs, the first chapter, where it says, you set at naught all my counsel, right?
Proverbs, the first chapter. You said at naught all my counsel.
Yeah, I think it's like around the 24th verse, where the Lord said that he basically he tried to counsel you, but you set all the counsel at naught, you know, and that was the apostles at GMS, because really we're the only ones that when somebody goes off in the scriptures, including Sakari, whoever it is, that, you know, we correct them in the scriptures, you know. So that's the counsel of the Lord, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But you said it all to naught, and all you did, you made videos talking shit about GMS, talking shit about Apostle Dahar, you know, Apostle Ramla. You called Apostle Ramla about what did Apostle Ramla do to you?
He didn't do shit to you.
What the fuck? What did Apostle Ronlot do to you? You know, and you just talking shit to your elders, whom you learn the truth from. You see.
But as a matter of fact, on what you said, here it goes right here. This the brother in, I think this is the brother out of what is it, Baltimore. I think this is one of the Baltimore brothers who did this video, and this part right here, I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, and I got a scripture tag this up with
of what I am doing when the Most High opens up doors to put me in these positions, to get in these interviews and on these platforms. I am aiming to change the narrative about this truth, because we represent the Most High. We represent his son. We represent our ancestors. We're representing something bigger than ourselves. We're representing something bigger than ourselves, especially when we're dealing with Yahweh and his son. So I aim to challenge and change the narrative. And that's on myself, and that's on down to the rest of this organization.
I want to give all the praises and the honor.
Right, so he said he's there to change the narrative, right? Let me see. He's trying to change the narrative where he's saying that GMS put a stain on this truth. That's really what this rat is speaking about. Let me see.
You could, you know, I've had quite a stressful day today. Quite a, you know, overwhelmingly stressful day, and you know, I've had some hurdles kind of set in front of me that I'm not accustomed to. Around my you know, which of course you don't see me do. You'll never see me do it. But you know, it's all right. I don't have no problem being humble and coming to the nation, just as I'm here for y'all and here to serve y'all. I know y'all are here for me. So let's read this. This, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. So always keep this in mind. We serve.
I'm pulling up on them for sure. Right? That's damn right. Anakahan, big up priest Anakahan, but lawyer.
That's going to be a response to what Alazar.
And we, that's what the clips he shows the clips in here with this nigga talking shit, talking about he's trying to change the narrative that GMS put a stain on this truth. Nigga, you put a stain on this. You. Because you want to be something that you're not. You're not a prophet of the Most High. You're a prophet of Satan. Just because you know a couple of scriptures. You know a couple of scriptures and a little bit of history. That don't mean shit. There's a scripture here in the Apocrypha, right? Which describes this guy. So what is it? It's Ecclesiasticus. Let me see if I can pull this up. Ecclesiasticus, and I think it's the 23rd chapter. And right here, Ecclesiasticus 23 and 11. Let me see. It says, a man that useth much swearing shall be filled with iniquity, and the plague shall never depart from his house. If he shall offend, his sin shall be upon him. And if he acknowledge not his sin, he maketh a double offense. And that's this nigga. He's talking about he's being humble and he's acknowledging his sin, but then he maketh a double offense. Now he's trying to take everything and turn it around onto us to take the focus off of him. You the one that got the twisted dark fantasy that took a banana up the tailpipe. He said he's not into that, but then he turns around and he's repenting of it and talking about that he went and got therapy for it. Then he starts crying in the video. He said he didn't do it, but he said there was a kit, a pegging kit that was bought, but it disappeared or he got rid of it, whatever. Well, where did it disappear? It must have disappeared in the tailpipe. That's where it must have disappeared to. You know what I'm saying? Like that. What is that? Beverly Hills Cop, the first Beverly Hills Cop, where Eddie Murphy put the bananas in the tailpipe of the officer's car. So that must have been where that pegging kit went. It must have disappeared in the tailpipe, right?
Oh man,
you said it. I didn't make it up. A man that uses much swearing shall be filled with iniquity, and the plague shall never depart from his house. If he shall offend, his sin shall be upon him. And if he acknowledge not his sin, he maketh a double offense. And if he swear in vain, he shall not be innocent, but his house shall be full of calamities. And is his house not full of calamities right now? Then he's bringing up the fact that his man, which is this dude right here, which is his man right here, committed adultery with another one of the members in the group, woman. Wow.
I mean, it sound like all of them got dirt on each other.
Yeah. While he's doing his freak show shit with his woman. In this same video right here, a little bit later on down the line here is where he starts talking about how he went and got therapy and he repented of the shit. So wait a minute, if you didn't do it, why you went and got therapy and repented of it then? Talking out both sides of his ass.
Yeah.
And again, we didn't have no private investigator or no cameras set up in the Sakari meeting to find this out. Y'all motherfuckers put this out there. Yep. And then you got this nigga right here coming out the woodwork to the rescue. Coming out the woodwork to the rescue to this nigga's aid right here. This dude is a fucking demon, man. He's a fucking clout chasing demon, and he's getting what the fuck he deserves right now at this day, at this very moment, and it's right before the Passover.
Yeah, and
praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and hey, you know, it's a cautionary. This is a cautionary tale. But I don't know if you have anything to say, brother. Anything else to say?
Shit. Nah. I mean, Nah, like you said, right before the Passover, Lord's cleaning house. I don't know. Some brother said he's doing a shaming ritual.
Yeah, well,
You know,
that was Yasha One, but he said it might be a shaming ritual. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I mean, it could be, but again, here in this thing right here, right, where he's talking about this with his woman. Let me see if I can find it. Just to end it off, where because earlier in the same video he said she was suggesting that shit, that freaky shit, and he's like, nah, I don't want to do it. I just want to be vanilla. But there was a pegging kit that was bought, but it disappeared, or I got rid of it, or whatever. You know, but then later on, let me see if it's here at this point here.
She's asking me, oh, where to go? I'm playing stupid.
why even put all this shit out
Where
there?
is it?
He's
I'm
talking
not
about
into that,
pegging
bro.
kit.
That's not what I'm into. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm down with. Never have been, never fucking will be. Right?
Now that's what he says right there. But let me see. I think when you get here,
it kind of came from. I can't explain it. Where did it come from?
Hold up, let me see.
I gotta just tell y'all niggas the truth. And just kind of through that, over the course of time, she got a mouth on her, and I like that about her, right? I like women who got mouths on them. Always have since a kid. The girls in the hood with they had the mouths. I always like that. And there's through that, she I ain't even gonna do that. Right? I'm gonna just put you like that. I've always had a thing for girls with mouths. And just kind of through that, over the course of time, I kind of developed this weird fixation on, kind of certain relationships. It just, just the idea of, a black woman trading on us. Like, first I was angry about it, then it kind of became a fixation. Then, frankly, I was aroused by it. And that's just me being totally fucking transparent with you.
Listen to this dude.
It is what it is. It's the truth. And if I want Yahweh to fight for me, I gotta just tell y'all niggas the truth. That's reality. But the cold part about all this is, she's showing y'all text messages. Those happened. But I've been stopped all that. I've been turned from that. Went to therapy about it and everything.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't have to talk no more.
You already said, right? He been stopped, all that. He been turned from.
Yep.
Therapy. Wait a minute. You mean to go to therapy because is he talking about he going to therapy because he like black women that got a slick mouth? Nah, man. Come on, man. Who the fuck gonna go to therapy for some bullshit like that? It's that other shit.
Yeah, or he could just be saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? He could be just telling us.
But he said this. We didn't say this. We didn't put this out there. You put this out there.
But what all I'm saying, I don't know what the fuck is true, what's not. You can't really trust anything this dude says. Like maybe he didn't go to therapy. Maybe just saying that shit so to get compassion or whatever. Like who the fuck knows?
He goes. You heard what he said, right? Let me just play a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I've been repented. I've been went to therapy. This been happened. This didn't just happen. This been happened. And in therapy, my therapist, she asked me, she's like, where did it come from? Where did this, attraction come from? And I had to think. And I realized it's really like anger driven. A lot of the anger and the frustration that we have, and y'all know we have it, towards Esau, it would really, piss me off like it pissed so many of us off to see sis with him. And that's where it kind of came from. I can't explain it. I never, it was always a shameful thing to me though. And I always was confused, like why Why am I like that? Why was that doing that for me? You know, and then through getting with her, and she got a hell of a mouth on her, and you know, frankly, she looks down on us. And when I say us, she looks down on black men. Myself and black men in general. It's just the truth. And that kind of was just playing into the whole thing. But again, through therapy, and again, I've been in therapy. I've been turned from anything that's being talked about months ago, been repented from, which is also why this whole thing is bullshit.
He said he'd been through therapy and through repenting from anything that's being talked about. You heard that, right?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I repented that.
You understand what I'm saying? So he'd been through therapy months ago through everything that's being talked about. He repented from everything that's being talked about. Come on, man. So I'll just leave it there.
Come on, son.
You got anything you want to end it on, brother?
Nah. Hold on. Let me see. I'll read that scripture in James again because it goes with the title. You know, with this.
Was that James 1:12? That one?
Oh, we were still there. Yeah, I'll just read it over again. Because basically, this one you just gotta, you know, you just gotta take it. You just gotta eat this one up, man. Nobody influenced you or put you to this. This was all you, you know. So it says, James 1:13. It says, "Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
That's right.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when the lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death." That's scripture. The wages of sin are death.
That's right.
Do not err, my beloved brethren. And yeah, and you know, to me, if he was really like genuine, let's say I repented and I'm genuine, that would have been it. He wouldn't be trying to point fingers at nobody else, or like trying to cast a stone at somebody else, right? If you did some shit and you really feel fucked up, like, damn, that was really fucked up. That's some nasty shit. It was fucked up. You would just like apologize, and he's sitting there trying to throw darts at everybody else.
That's right.
So to me, he's not really genuine. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? The scripture say the Most High looks at the reins of the heart. So his intention is not. He's just wicked, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know. And then I think at the end of the video, he said he's gonna step down or he's gonna quit or something like that.
Right. He said he's gonna quit. Yep.
Yeah.
But he said that before when they had the Passover in the strip club. Remember that?
It's like the second or third time he said he said he's gonna quit.
He said that then.
So he's like he's like that. The scriptures talk about the wood and the stubble. He's like that wood and the stubble. Like every time some hell comes upon him, he burns up. He can't. He wants to quit.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. And the scriptures say this. I got two scriptures, and we'll just end it with this. I got Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha. I'm going to go to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 14. No, I'm sorry. I'm in Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. Here. It says, "For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." I'm going to read it again. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. "For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Yeah, so that was the work of the Most High. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yep. And then I got one more. I'm gonna end off with 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, the book of Paul, which he doesn't like the book of Paul, but I'm gonna end it off with one of the books that he don't like, which is the book of Paul. He speaks against the Apostle Paul all the time.
Yeah,
Let's see what Paul said. 1 Corinthians 3:13, and then we're just gonna end it here. 1 Corinthians 3:13. Every man's work shall be made manifest. The day shall declare it, shall be revealed by fire. Fire shall make work of this.
yeah, damn the fire. Yep. So like I said earlier, shit, GMS been under the fire, right? Through false witness,
That's
the
right.
bearing of false witness.
And that's a hell of a false witness to put on somebody calling them a rapist.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's the worst. Yeah. Man, and this is the other thing too, right? Nobody stood up for GMS. I heard they're doing a fast for this guy. Like a fast, like a whole bunch, I guess a bunch of camps, a bunch of Israelites want to do a fast for the Most High to have mercy on them or something like that. But nobody stood up for GMS during that time.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody took their opportunity to shit on us. And
That's right.
the grapist is the worst thing you'd be called. Grapist, pedo.
Yep.
You know, is the worst thing you could call anybody in this world. And that's what they called us. You know, so that was some fire. And like I said, you go to comments, that's what GMS is known as. You know, whenever the GMS was brought up, oh, you're talking about those pedos or the ones that like little girls, which is complete bullshit, lies, and made up false witness.
Yep, it's false
and
witness. It's the bearing of
false
false
witness. Stick up for us. Yeah, nobody stood up for us. Ain't nobody was talk well on our behalf. But that was some serious fire. But you know, from the apostles all the way on down, just kept doing the work. Nobody said, I'm going to quit, you know, or any of that shit.
And just kept teaching. You know, through being slandered. Through being slandered, niggas in the world talking about they going to do this and they going to do that. And the main motherfucker who did that, again, that black ass motherfucker who looked like Daffy Duck with his beak shot off, where is he at now? He's sitting in the motherfucking Hoosgow doing 6 or 7 years for raping a girl down in a hotel in Florida of a woman that he was dealing
with. But see, the difference is, man, is that we're not trying to be world friendly because we know that the world is not going to like us. You know, so when that stuff comes upon us, it's expected. We that's what the scriptures say.
Yep.
Now, if you're trying to be world friendly and your reputation with the world is what you're standing on, then of course when a fire comes to you, you're gonna want to quit. Excuse me. You're gonna want to tuck your tail between your legs and run somewhere and cry or whatever. You know.
Yep.
Because you don't really know what the truth is about, and the truth is about suffering, and the world's gonna hate you. You know, all the way until Yahweh Shai appears.
That's right.
You know?
We were called in this to suffer and to be hated for Yahweh Shai's namesake.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. The servant's not greater than the master. So Yahweh Shai went through it. So that's what you got to expect. That's what Yahweh Shai said, talked about bearing the cup. You know, that cup is that suffering, that shame, you know, being called names, all types of shit. Yahweh Shai was crucified off of false witness.
That's right.
You know? So that's it, man.
Yep. So I'll just read one more. John 13 and 16, and we'll just close it out with that. Just finish it up with this real quick. John 13 and 16. And this should pretty much sum it up right here. Okay, so I'm gonna start at 15. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them.
If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. So, in other words, that's part of the package, of being in His truth and being of the elect is you're going to suffer what Yahushua suffered.
Yep.
That's part of that cross. But you're supposed to expect it. That's why the scriptures talk about counting the cost.
Yep.
So,
fact, you know what? I was going to end it there, but here's another one. This one is even a little bit more juicier. St. John 15 and 18. I'm down to 21. St. John 15 and 18. We're going to end here. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen thee out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So we're not here to be loved by the world and have a world-friendly doctrine. This is going to be a world-hated thing, not loved. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things they will do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me, which is who? Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that's it. We end it right there with that.
Okay.
So this thing is not about being world friendly, because number one, Yahweh Shai said it right there, that the world is going to hate us. The world is not going to love us. We wasn't called to this thing to be world friendly and to be loved by the world, and even really to have a whole lot of money. We wasn't called in here to be loved. We was called in here to be hated, to be persecuted, and then be vindicated in the end by Yahweh Shai.
Yep, that's it.
So that's it. So got any closing words?
Nah, that was it, man. What you said was beautiful.
So with that, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh,
Yahweh
Shai, Hashem, Rakah Kodash.
Kodash.
And I say Tawab La Allah to the brethren and the few sisters that was on the comment board. I'm going to say Tawab La Allah to you, and Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.